And then ICT can also help reach marginalized and excluded learners, including those with special needs in remote areas or the infirm. So what are the, again, to my point, the point that I made that more important than deciding the technology is going to be the decision to large-scale implementation. You've got to be in a position to roll out these implementations in a big way. And what are the factors which are going to be responsible for large-scale implementation, for the successful large-scale implementation? The most important factor is standardization. You have to ensure a seamless experience. And this morning, when I was listening to Professor Mr. R. Chandrasekhar, Secretary IT, actually this slide, it was essentially identical to what he had said. He raised a few points, like he said that standards are lacking. You know, the standards are varying from one state to the other. We are keen to reinvent the wheel. You know, we hear a lot about like $10 PC, or we're going to do $50 this and $60 that. Instead of, you know, learning from what is already out there, instead of already picking from the technology which is out there. And this drive to reinvent the wheel actually slows down the things. So he mentioned that there is a need for common platform, there's a need for adopting technologies. And that's something that we have seen from our experience elsewhere in the world too. That wherever they have successfully implemented technology, the biggest reason has been that standardized. They decided to go with one particular platform with a set of vendors and implement that technology in a big way across. So to ensure a seamless experience, you need to have a consistent classroom technology, which is the same from room to room and from school to school. The software platform for the teachers in which they're going to create, share, and leverage the digital materials has to be common all across, has to be consistent. And there has to be a consistent opportunity to reinforce and build students' and teachers' technological literacy, and consistent software platforms for students to present material, demonstrate, understand, and develop higher order thinking. And perhaps just to throw in an example from a different industry, you know, we see the cellular phones everywhere in India. We probably have about 450 million to 550 million cellular phones all over India. And again, the reason, and they are available, they're cheap. Like in India, we have the cheapest hardware. The phones are the cheapest in India. The call rates, the incoming is free all across, which is really unheard of in Canada, definitely, and in some other parts of the world. The outgoing is amongst the cheapest in the world. And the reason why that is the case, it's because of standardization, a thing called GSM. We have another technology called CDMA, but essentially the experience of the customers of using the cellular phones is almost the same all across, whether it's a GSM or a CDMA phone. So standardization is the most important factor in bringing down the cost of the technology and also in faster, effective implementation of the technology. You need to integrate technology into the classroom. You need to, it has to be easy to use. There has to be faster adoption so that there's a reduced learning curve. The implementation has to be modular. You can't really implement one technology one day and the next year, altogether different technology which is not easily integrated into what is already there in the classrooms. And the purchasing also has to be kind of easy, either a single vendor or a set of vendors who are promoting the same technology and who are well equipped to implement and support and maintain your technology. And you have to think of the whole solution. You got to think beyond the hardware and the software. And in education, what that means is you got to look at what is the teacher training and professional development plan of your technology provider. What is his plan for the digital content? Does he have adequate support for the technology installation? Is the technology inclusive? And what is the total cost of ownership? I've seen this happen in India in the last 1 year, ever since that I've been handling this particular territory, that the decision makers in the schools, they kind of just always go for the cheap, easy, fast to procure kind of a product without really worrying too much about, what else do I get with that particular product? Does the vendor have all these things that I've listed? That's a dangerous trend, and perhaps I could just throw in a word of caution here that, for the decision makers, definitely when they are looking at implementing technology, they have to look at the complete solution and not just be bogged down by the hardware and software. And established leadership. Established leadership at the decision maker level, definitely you need to have the leadership, somebody who can take those decisions and roll out the technology, but also the established leadership at the vendor level. So you got to ask from your technology provider that, are your solutions proven? Have they really worked elsewhere in the world? Do the educators in the world, they choose your solutions? Is your vendor committed to professional development, quality content, customer support? And if so, then how is he going to do that? And are the solutions easy to implement? And does the company have the experience and the expertise necessary to support a successful implementation? These are some of the things that you need to ask from your technology provider. I've just put in this last slide there not to self-promote, not to promote smart, but just to kind of give you a look into what is it that has made us successful. Why have we been the chosen technology partners in countries like UK, Australia, US, Canada, and Mexico? That's because what we have tried to do is that we have kept at the very foundation the products, which is the smartboard and the smart notebook software, as the bedrock of our offering. They are the ones that I'm actually getting into a little bit of a sales pitch here, and I want to avoid that. The point is, you got to have, so you put in the board, the way we've structured, the way we architectured the technology is that once you put the board in, once the teacher is comfortable using the smart notebook software, you can very easily add on the other pieces. If down the line you want to add a document camera, or you want to add wireless slates, or you want to add additional audio system or student response system, you can do that without any disruption, without even disruption of a single class. The teacher within 2 hours can be easily trained and equipped to start using the technology, to start using the additional piece of technology. And besides just the hardware, we also provide training, professional development, community content and community, and our services and support are amongst the best in the world. There's an ecosystem actually getting developed around the smart technology solutions. We have created a thing called Smart Exchange, where there are hundreds and thousands of teachers who are of that Smart Exchange. And on that exchange, we have about 40,000 resources available. A teacher anywhere in the world can become a member of that exchange. He can download lesson activity from any part of the world. A teacher here wants to see physics, grade 6, Newton being taught in UK. You can just go in there, click, and you will find dozens and dozens of lessons addressing your requirement. And they are free. You can just download those lessons, change the language, change the pictures, change the content to meet your requirement, and create your lesson and deliver the lesson to your classroom. So these are some of the things that we are providing, some of the resources that we are providing to education worldwide. And I guess that's what has made us successful. And again, to the point that I'd like to make is that it's got to be a standard experience. There's got to be standardization. And vendors, they need to be ready. They need to be in a position to implement the technology and roll out the technology in a fast, efficient way. It's a big challenge. It's not going to be easy, but I guess you got to start your journey now, and we are happy to be part of this journey. Thank you very much.